Why is it that it's so much easier to go from something like $10,000 a month to over $30,000 a month with an online business than it is to go from zero to your first $1,000 a month, or to go from, a few thousand a month to 10,000? Now, this is something that I've been thinking about quite a lot, because I remember I used to struggle so much when, getting my first client. Like, that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, going from zero to like 500 to $1,000 a month. And then going from, 2 to 3 grand a month up to 10K a month and beyond, that was another struggle, potentially even bigger, right? But then above 10K a month, it got, I would say, not easier, but, a lot simpler and, well, I guess, easier as well. So why is that? And the best kind of concept that I could come up with to really just illustrate why I think this is, thinking about an airplane. So if you think about an airplane and you imagine that, when does it consume the most amount of fuel and energy? What takes the most amount of effort for a plane ride? It's usually the takeoff, right? So the plane is burning the most amount of fuel. It has the biggest consumption when it's, accelerating from 0 to 400 kilometers an hour, and it's actually getting up in the air and, getting up to the cruising altitude. When it's already cruising at 30,000, feet in the air, or whatever planes fly at, it's actually not requiring as much energy and fuel and all that stuff, right? So to basically put this into a real life example, most people, when they are at 0 or a few thousand a month, they don't have any momentum. And the reason they don't have momentum is because of a couple things. And again, this is just my opinion and my personal experience, so take everything with a grain of salt. There are a lot smarter people than me as well on the internet, so yeah. But the reason why I think you don't have momentum in the beginning is because of kind of the things that are holding you back. It's like you have a lot of weight that you need to drop, because it's like you are a very, very heavy plane right now, so you need a ton of effort to start pushing that, or you need to offload some things. So in the beginning, you are better off offloading things than just trying to push harder and harder. So what do I mean by offloading things, right? For most people who are stuck in the beginning, it's usually the things that they are doing, not the things that they are not doing, or that they are not doing the things that they should be doing consistently and at high enough volumes. So what do I mean by this, right? Most of you guys already know what you need to do to actually get to where you want to go, right? If I had to put this into a coaching business example or a creative business example, it's like, you need to get good at the service that you are providing. That you should probably create content and build your own brand. You should be probably doing some sort of, outbound acquisition or something of that sort. And that you should be doing that a lot every single day. And as long as you would do that, you would get the result. But why are you not doing it? Well, I think it's a couple of things. Number one, that was a big thing for me, is just beliefs around the world. So basically my belief system, my beliefs about money, my beliefs about business, relationships, how the world works, basically. So a lot of people, including myself, when you grow up in an environment where people have, either a negative image around money, or you see that money is not abundant, you kind of get that worldview installed into your brain subconsciously without you agreeing to it. If, you're being programmed basically by the world from the day that you are born. So when you become 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 27, whatever it is, and you're like, hey, I actually don't want to go down this traditional path, which there's nothing wrong with that if you want to. But if you're one of those weirdos like me who wants to build a business, and that's probably why you're watching this video, you probably don't want to go down the traditional, more quote unquote safe path, right? So then you're like, okay, I want to go this different route. But then subconsciously, the beliefs that, were kind of ingrained into you as you were growing up are holding you back, because you believe things that are not true about the way the world works, the way business works, and so on. So you basically self-sabotage yourself. So what you need to do, or what I did at least, is I had to kind of change my self-image, because I had this self-image when I was first starting out in entrepreneurship and trying to first make money with my creative skill sets. I had this image of myself that I was this, Hungarian kid who was born into this small country where the average person makes like $1,000 a month, and I thought that everybody who was rich was like a politician and they were stealing money, or they were like some sort of a mafia member, or like, a scam artist or whatever. And so I had this perception about successful people, quote unquote, or at least in the business sense. So I was like subconsciously sabotaging myself from taking the right actions that would have led me to getting clients and making money, because I didn't want to be one of those people, right? But I had to realize that that was actually not factually true. It was just what I saw around me, but it wasn't reality. So for me, what helped me was, first of all, seeing like actual success stories from like America and hearing other people's stories who actually made their money through creating value. And also I bought a really good program. That was another thing. Like, I thought that programs were a scam, courses were a scam, books were a scam, whatever. But either ways, after consuming content on YouTube and all that, I bought a program that had a really good mindset module on it, where they had this exercise that you would kind of build out your ideal future self that was capable of getting the results that you wanted. And I would almost like brainwash myself for like 2 years straight, where I would go through this journal and this like vision board kind of that I had for myself, of the person that I wanted to become. And I would go through that every morning, every night, and I would kind of like trick my brain into believing that I was already a person worthy of getting the results I want. And because I believed that I was worthy of making that amount of money or whatever, I acted in accordance to that person's identity in my actions. And I started actually doing the work. I stopped being afraid of talking to people, making new connections, making people offers, or even just taking money. Like, a lot of people are afraid to take other people's money because they don't trust that they will, be able to deliver something of value in return. But anyways, I kind of, had that breakthrough mindset wise, which allowed me to do the right things, which eventually got me the results. It's like two things, right? It's like your beliefs about yourself and what you believe that you are kind of capable of, the limiting beliefs that you have. You need to get rid of those, right? And one of the best ways, I think, to get rid of them is through, talking to people who already did what you want to do, and like realizing that they are just as much human as you are and they are not special. You could be in their position as well if you just did the actions that they took, right? Or at least a similar position. And then also basically like getting rid of the bad habits that hold you back. So whether that's social media for you, whether it's watching TV, whether it's eating a bunch of junk food, whether it's not sleeping enough, whether it's not working out, all these things are gonna like crazily hinder the amount of like motivation you have to do work. Because if you're getting, I know this is like such a popular topic nowadays, but if you're getting your dopamine from these cheap sources, obviously your brain is not going to be like, okay, let's sit down today and do outreach, because your brain is just always going for the lowest hanging fruit to get dopamine from. And if that's TikTok and junk food for you, you're not going to sit down and actually do work. Number one, identify your limiting beliefs that were kind of ingrained in you through your upbringing, and kind of like intentionally, force yourself to get rid of them by doing stuff like visualization exercises even, or just simply like, envisioning the person that you want to become, and then, kind of like think about what are the characteristics, the traits, the habits of that person, and then start doing those things. And then you will actually start thinking about yourself as that person. You will keep doing those actions, and then they will get you the results. Try to surround yourself with other people who are already where you want to go, or somewhere around that mark, and realize that they are just as much human as you are, and you could be in that situation as well. And yeah, like, as long as you can get rid of your bad habits, your bad limiting beliefs, and just hang around some people who are, where you want to be, then I pretty much guarantee you that, that's going to allow you to do the right actions daily, And then as long as you do the right actions daily, you will actually get to the goals that you have set out for yourself. So again, whether that's 10 grand a month, 30 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 100 or even 500 grand a month. Hey, I don't know. I haven't got to that point yet, but I think it's the same exact process based on what I've seen from other friends of mine as well, who are doing, 500 grand, million months with their online businesses. So hope this video was insightful for you. If you want to see more stuff like this on the channel, check out the other videos as well. And I will see you in the next one.